Hey guys, Mike Majette, PGA professional and your Selfie Golf coach. Let's get started with your tip series. All right, so in this first video, we are going to talk about the three most important and overlooked things I feel when most golfers are setting up to hit their shot. Okay, we're going to talk about the grip, proper alignment, and ball position. Okay, so first off, let's get started with a proper grip. Now, before I get into how to take the proper grip, this is not going to be comfortable, okay? The grip is probably the most uncomfortable thing to change regarding the golf swing. However, it's the most important because it's going to dictate where the club is going, okay, throughout the swing. Okay, if we have a really strong grip, really weak grip, club face is going to open and close. We're going to make compensations throughout our golf swing if we don't have our hands, our only connection to the golf club, properly on the grip. Okay, so now since I'm a righty, my left hand is going to be on top of the club. Right hand will go on the bottom. My left hand, what I'm going to do is I'm going to open my hand. I'm going to lay it in the middle of my index finger, put it diagonally to the base of my pinky, put my fingers underneath the grip, just like that. I want to get the pad, the heel pad of my hand on top of the grip. Notice that the grip is not here, okay? All my fingers are on the club. So when I wrap the heel pad of my hand over top of it, I still have a little sticking out, okay? If you're getting a really big wear mark and you're gripping the club here, that's gonna add a lot of movement and you're gonna lose control of the golf club throughout the swing. So we wanna maximize the amount of control, but also not sacrifice distance and choking up too much. So, index finger, middle of the index finger, base of the pinky, fingers underneath. I'm making sure that the club face is square on the ground. Okay, wrapping the heel over, just like that. Okay, so from the address position, I can see my index finger knuckle, my middle finger knuckle. Okay, and notice how I have a short thumb. A lot of people I see have their thumb going down the grip. We don't want that. Okay, so what we're gonna do is, if you have a long thumb, just slide it up, okay? So it forms this crease. We don't want any gaps in the grip, okay? So if I can't see two knuckles, I'm going to turn it over a little bit more until I can, and there you go. Max two knuckles, 2.5 maybe, okay? Just like that. Then when we add our bottom hand, we're going to add it underneath, not on top. And I'll get into that as to why in a second. So underneath, again, index finger, middle of my index finger to the base of my pinky. Wrap my fingers around the grip. Grip goes on top. Okay, almost my thumb is fitting in the middle of my bottom hand. Just like that. Okay, you can see that looks like they're working together. Okay, if I have a hand like this, hand like that, they're working against each other and you're gonna make a lot of compensations throughout the golf swing. We don't want that. So here, again, my thumb is on top of the grip. It's not off to the side. It's not down the shaft like this. Shorten up the thumbs, okay? And if you don't know how to shorten up the thumbs, just do exactly what I just did. Long thumb, slide it up. Long thumb, slide it up. Make sure that these hands are working together. So now that we went over the proper grip, we're gonna go over grip tension, which is just as important. Grip tension is the pressure we're putting on the club when we're setting up or throughout the golf swing. We wanna try to make it as consistent as possible at address throughout the golf swing. We don't wanna get tense, okay? Tension is a golf swing, golf game killer. If I'm tense, if I'm setting up to this golf ball and I'm gripping this club on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being as hard as possible. If I'm gripping this as hard as I can, I have tension going up my arms into my shoulders. Odds are I'm not going to be able to make a really, really good turn and get the most out of my rotation, okay? So what I want you to do, now before I get into that, there's a phrase that a lot of instructors like to say, or that you've probably heard: hold the grip or hold the golf club like you're holding a baby bird. I've never held a baby bird. I'm pretty sure that most of you watching this have never held a baby bird. So what I tell people, hold it as if you're holding an egg. okay? Firm enough that you're not gonna drop it, but soft enough to where you're not gonna crack it, okay? So, that's the grip in a nutshell, or an eggshell for that matter. I'm sorry, I had to. So we're setting up, we're gripping this club lightly. It's giving me a lot of freedom to turn my shoulders and upper body. If we're gripping this as hard as we can, I'm not gonna be able to hinge my wrist properly, I'm not gonna be able to turn my shoulders properly, and I'm gonna end up bending my arms to get a little bit more length out of my golf swing. We don't want that, okay? If you wanna lengthen your golf swing or shorten your golf swing, think of it in terms of your rotation, not your arms and hands, all right? So, one thing we're gonna do, we're gonna work on ball position in our setup. Now I have a 7-iron in my hand, okay? Let me grab a wedge. We'll grab my utility iron, 3-wood, and driver. Okay. Put these down, we'll go over where to put each ball. Okay, again, I know this is a lot of information. This is our first video. You master this video, you're gonna be set up for the rest of the tips. Okay, that's why we did this video first. This is the most important stuff. Most overlooked, but most important. Wedge. You can see here how it's kind of in the middle of my stance right now. Grab another alignment stick so you guys can see this. This right here. Okay, this will be in the middle of my stance. Now, I encourage you also to practice with your Selfie Golf alignment sticks. The ball is going to go half a ball back with my wedges. Okay, half a ball back. So when I'm practicing with these alignment sticks, the front edge of the ball is going to be even with the alignment stick. That's about as far back as I want it when you're making a full wedge swing. Okay, 7-iron. Dead center of my stance, right here. Okay, notice how the shaft isn't like this. It's not straight up and down. I'm laying it flat on the bottom edge, letting it sit square, and then gripping the club, which is another important point. You set up to the club. Don't set the club up to you. Okay, we got to use these things the way they were made. Okay, so I'm setting it flat on the ground. Take my grip. Make sure I can see 2 knuckles. If the ball stays still. Okay, 2 knuckles here. Add my bottom hand and the fingers. Wrap it over. Thumb on top. Boom. So now from my 9-iron to my 6-iron, the ball will go right in the middle. 5-4 3-iron, half a ball forward. Okay, wedge is half a ball back. Long irons are half a ball forward. So the back of the ball is even with this alignment stick in the middle of my stance. Now 3-wood. So here's the middle of my stance. A full ball forward of center. Okay, so a full ball should fit right there. Okay, so 3-wood, it's a full ball forward of center. Driver off the tee. Will be on the inside part of our front foot, our lead foot. Okay, so I'll adjust this alignment stick to go on the inside of my left foot. Boom. Okay, now, I don't know if you've noticed throughout this ball position explanation, my weight changed from wedges to about 60-40 on my front side. So 60% is on my lead side with my wedges and my short irons. Long irons, I'm gonna be about 50-50. Fairway woods and driver, I'm leaning a little bit further back because the longer the club gets, okay, so the driver's the longest club in the bag. The longer the club gets, the more weight we wanna have on our trailing foot, and vice versa. The shorter the club, the more weight we wanna have forward. Okay, and that's because we're gonna strike this ball differently with each club. You do hit down on all your irons and wedges. 3-wood, we're gonna sweep a little bit more, and I'll get into the technique of how to strike these clubs in the next video. And the driver, because it's on a tee, we're swinging up. So we wanna kind of encourage an upward motion of the ball by setting up that way, okay? Now I know I went over a lot of information, okay? But again, you got this video, put it on repeat, go over one step at a time. We have the grip, which I told you I feel is the most important part of the golf swing. It's our only connection to the club. It's gonna dictate where this club face is going and where it's traveling throughout the golf swing, okay? Grip tension, gotta grip it light, okay? On a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being as hard as you possibly can, and 1 being just before it slides through your hands, as light as possible. Want to be around a 3 or a 4, and you try to maintain that grip pressure throughout the entire golf swing. That'll free up some motion, some rotation, and you'll be able to strike the ball a little bit better. It'll also lead to a lot more power as well. Setup, okay? Setup. How far should we be from the golf ball? What I'm going to do is set the club down flat on its edge, okay? Then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to lean the club against my knee. I'm going to make sure that when I stand up, I'm going to athletically bend my knees, look down at the ball, and bend over from the waist until I can reach the grip, okay? See that? I'll do that again. Set the club up, lean it against your leg, stand up, okay? Bend your knees athletically. We're not sitting down, our knees aren't locked, okay? Athletically bend our knees as if we were about to shoot a free throw or defend somebody, okay? Then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna look at the ball, bend over at the waist until my hands reach the grip, right here, okay? I'm not reaching for it. My hands aren't in here. I'm not bunched up. So 1, 2, 3. All right, just make sure that you're relaxed. Grip tension, pay attention to it. It's very important. We don't want any tension in our upper shoulders or our neck. Okay, so that's it. That's your first tip series. Work on all of it. Just go ahead, grab a club, walk around your house. I don't care how crazy you look. Walk around in the office when you're sitting at the desk, grab a club, get used to this new grip, okay, and get used to holding it lightly. Okay, this video will lead to your improvement alongside the rest of the tips that we have coming. Really looking forward to helping you guys improve your golf games. If you guys have any questions, feel free to contact me. I will see you next time.